Welcome to Blue Rock TTV's live show, where we spill the tea on the celebrities you love and hate. So sit back and hold on to your seats, but don't hold back. Get in the live chat, cause it's about to get juicy. You heard it. You know, it's gonna get crazy like it normally always does. Hopefully it's not gonna get as crazy as last time, but I see you guys up in the chat here, over here on YouTube, because I do know a lot of the OGs from IG be coming over here to show the love and support as well. So what's going on, Sandra? All for Love starring, what's going on? What's up? Mama Cajola. What's up, Louisiana girl? What's going on, you guys? Keep dropping those blue diamonds in the chat. Don't forget to share the video, hit subscribe if it's your first time here, and enjoy the live. Now, we are going to, invite live guests. So for those who want to come up and share their opinions, you're more than welcome to do so. Just try to be respectful. And again, it does not have to be the same opinion as myself, or anybody else. You can have your own opinion. We're just asking for people to be respectful about it. So what's up, Rose and Gold? I see you. Keisha, what's up? So yeah, you guys know there's been a lot of controversy lately, especially this week. There's been a hate train against Blue Rock TTV, and it is what it is. We do what we do. And sometimes, that kind of, I guess, ruffles the feathers a little bit. You know what I'm saying? People be upset about some of the things we do, and instead of just taking it as, maybe potentially being just a little bit upset or just not liking the show for the day, they seem to kind of want to take it out on me personally. It is what it is. I told y'all already, I got skin for the game. That's the reason why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to address hate trains when I need to address hate trains, And like most of my viewers know, this has nothing to do with any particular support group or anything like that, as much as they try to make it out to be. Now, I don't know if I have my mods up here on the chat today, because I don't really see any of them right now. I do see one, I think, King. But other than that, I don't see many. But that's okay. We're good. I did just send them the show. So, they might not be available. Sometimes we do things, out of the blue here. And it is what it is. Shout out there to Natasha. I do see you as a member, and I appreciate that. If you have not become a member yet, definitely do become a member here at Blue Rock TV to support what we do, because we do it good, right? Hit that subscribe button. I've already said it. We have over 250,000 subscribers across all of our platforms combined. I haven't even checked the total tally of that number yet, so it could be over 250K, it could be 260, who knows? But again, I thank each and every single one of you, from Facebook, from Twitter, from TikTok. Although we haven't used TikTok in a while, we're going to be dropping some new videos there too, don't worry. Instagram, and of course YouTube, and we can't forget our people on Threads. We be out there, we be all over. We are most definitely unstoppable, so thanks again for all of our supporters, for showing up when you do, how you do, because we most definitely appreciate it, right? So I don't want to take too much time. I want to get straight into the tea, some of the things that we've seen and heard about. But again, like I said, let's take a quick moment to just, have a quick highlight of what occurred on our last live show. So for those who missed it, our last live show created a lot of buzz, okay? There were people coming for Blue Rock TV, people coming for Jaden fans, Chrisean fans, everybody coming for everybody. It is what it is sometimes when you bring people of different opinions into a live, and we're trying our best to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I wanted to show you guys, for those who didn't see it yet, a quick snippet of what happened on our last live. And if you've missed it, you most definitely, after this live, you might want to check it out. Chrisean Rock, but that's not all. We spoke Jade and Alexis did an interview about Chrisean Rock, but that's not all. We spoke to both fans and things got heated.
That's not
Chrisean
the full
didn't
story.
start this mess.
That's not the full.
Can I just talk?
Oh man, both parties exchanged sides defending both women.
She's not anywhere bashing Jaden. She's not talking about Jaden.
Jaden's supporters, they want her to run from Blue. They don't want her with Blue.
It was tough to see eye to eye, and it's a debate you don't want to miss.
Chrisean didn't initiate this drama. Jaden initiated the initial drama.
So, are any of the relationships worth saving? And should both women just run and move on? What do you think?
You talking about the past and who did this? He did Blue Girls Club.
Don't miss the full show on our YouTube channel and keep it locked right here at Blue Rock TTV for all the juicy details. You guys know what it is. Like I said, it was a show nonetheless. You know, there was a lot of moments, I guess a lot of combative moments for those who were there and got to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, we've entertained the show with both sides, and things got a bit spicy, like we say it normally always does. So like I said, if you missed that live, don't forget to go ahead and check it out, because listen, that's been on the internet streets for a bit. Now, of course, we did come here again to talk about, you know, like I said, some of the things that Wack 100 said, right? And y'all know already, Blue Rock TTV, we highlighted a little bit about Wack said. We didn't highlight everything, but we did highlight a bit about what Wack said. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by playing that highlight, and then we're gonna get into Vlad's video. All right.
Is what he chooses to do.
Wack 100 claims Blueface loves Chrisean, but that's not all. He claims Blueface will support her, daddy or not.
You know what I
So
mean?
he would still stay with Chrisean knowing the baby isn't his.
I believe so.
Wack 100 went on DJ Vlad's YouTube and didn't miss a beat mentioning Blueface or Chrisean Rock.
You know, I got to keep it real. You know what I mean?
Claiming that Blueface loves her and is willing to take the ride.
Right? I'm just keeping it real as a man, right? That he honestly loves Chrisean. He may not like some of her ways. Well, I know that he's made the decision to invest his time and patience in her. He's told me this.
Jeez, but what about Blueface's ways? Cause with Chrisean Rock being on her journey, who is embracing who? What do you think? Keep it locked right here on Blue Rock TTV for all the juicy details. There you have it. So that's part of, you know, the interview that we highlighted. I know some people on the IG page were saying that Wack had said a lot more than that, and you know, people who know would know and assume that Wack would say a lot more than that. Like I had a viewer write me and say, you know, Wack be mixing the truth with some of his lies, right? So it is what it is. It is how it is. You know, I do want to take a moment to get into Vlad's video here with some of the things that Wack had mentioned, right? Now, do know that some of y'all are probably going to be really annoyed, you know, at some of the things he said. For those who've seen it, great. For those who haven't, you're going to want to, if you're going to want to catch the full thing, you're going to want to check out Vlad's YouTube, because that's where the full thing will be played. We're just going to share snippets of it, just so we don't get too upset or excited about the situation in any way. Again, you know, I'm inviting any guest, if they wish to come up and share their opinions about the situation, y'all can definitely do that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play a snippet of this, and then, of course, add my commentary.
He had tats. You know, I don't know if he's in there bored. You know what I'm saying? See, like 2, 3 maybe. He already had face. I mean, come on, bro. He had a goddamn Ben Franklin on the side of his face.
Right, but I
That
feel
big.
like this new picture that I've seen, He's just, his whole face is tatted now. And he's got Chrisean's name on his face.
It looked like on his chart.
So you notice at first, for those who've seen this, sorry, I want to let you guys know we are having a little bit of technical difficulties. Let me point that out. But for those who've seen this video on Vlad's channel would know that at this point here, Vlad had asked Wack about the tattoos, about the Blueface tattoos, and you can see right away him trying to dance away from actually, mentioning that there's a Chrisean tattoo. But you know how Vlad is sometimes, he gets, right to it. If you're missing the question, he's going to definitely try to, bring the question back up, right? And that's what he does, So Wack continues now to address, I guess, that part of the face tattoos, and let's hear that out.
A line, and then he got a Y for his neighborhood. He already had his neighborhood.
What does the Y stand for?
Schoolyard.
Schoolyard. Okay.
But he already had his neighborhood written on his face right here. Something like 16th Street Schoolyard Crip or whatever. So he already had tats. I don't know if he's in there bored. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
you get bored, you get face tats, huh?
Maybe he wanted some gel tats just to see what it was, But at the end of the day, one thing I know about nephew and I respect about nephew, whatever he chooses to do, that's just what he chooses to do.
Now it's pretty, I don't know. I felt like there was a bit of downplaying the tattoos there, and in downplaying the tattoo itself, I felt like you're pretty much downplaying Blueface's personality a bit. Maybe he's in there to play little games. Maybe he wanted some of the boys just to, tat up his face so he can feel what it's like to have the boys tat up his face in the jailhouse. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I was giving. Some people were saying there's no sound. Is there no sound at all? Let me know with Blue Diamonds if you can hear a sound. So can you hear Wack's video though? All right, perfect. Do know I was having some technical difficulties. I'm about to shut some people off the Wi-Fi over here. Don't worry. So it's about to speed up again in a second here. But let's continue here with the video. Thanks for those as well, letting me know what's going on.
Now, there's rumors that him and Chrisean got married.
Nah, she can't even go see him.
She can't even see him.
Nah, his visiting forms ain't even approved. Jade's visiting forms ain't even approved. So, you got to get married inside there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, How you going to sign something?
That was an interesting slip there about the marriage, I guess. Was it or was it not?
Right. And after our last interview, my DMs got filled up over the allegations that might not be Blueface's baby. And I guess there's this other guy who's claiming that's... Was that?
He's been there.
Right. And I guess there's a video that circulated recently where I guess he pulled up on Chrisean while she was at the mall, and she called the police on him.
That was her man.
Like
he called a murder case behind her.
So we all know what this part's going to be about. We all know Wack 100 is going to entertain the idea of Ronnie. I think we can all ask ourselves some questions to why, if Wack is Blueface's manager, why is he entertaining this idea? Where did he get, I guess some managers respect their clients to an extent and would only say things that their client expect them to talk about at different times and so on. So the question would be, why would Wack speak about this? Is he speaking out of turn? Because we do know he's made a lot of references about not talking to Blueface directly or not having a conversation with Blueface for a while, but again, he did mention that, Blueface's love for Chrisean was out of him speaking with Blueface at different times, right? So it's pretty interesting to kind of always ask yourself, why is Wack 100 always speaking out of line in a sense, right? It's quite interesting to kind of try to think about. Now, I do know the viewers have their opinions, right? And that's why it's also interesting when Ronnie does what Ronnie does, why he reaches out to Wack or why he would reach out to Karlissa, right? And I think more of that is probably going to come to light sooner than later, y'all. You know what I mean? we got some tea. Trust me. We are investigating. We're looking into it. We're digging up some receipts and so on. But some, some, if not a lot of these things are going to come a little bit more to light. All right. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to fast forward some of this talks here because we know, what the rampage is going to be about there. And I'm going to continue from here what Wack is going to discuss. Like I said, if you want to see the full video, you're going to have to check out DJ Vlad TV's YouTube channel. You're going to get the full interrupted video there today. Right now, it's for our commentary. Whether you're a live viewer that wanted to come up and share some commentary as well, or sipping some of this tea with me while we share the commentary here. That's what we're doing. I just dropped the link again for those who wanted
that woman. That was his woman before we knew what she was. Blueface, he called a murder beef right here in Los Angeles.
Wait, so that guy...
He called a murder beef right here in Los Angeles.
What was that situation over? Do you know?
I mean, it's allegedly supposed to have been over attempted sex trafficking. You know what I mean?
They're trying to sex traffic Chrisean?
Yeah, that's what it was. That was her man. So at the end of the day, it was still dealings after the fact when Blueface's car got stolen. We didn't know it was her. Found the car 100 miles east of Tulsa, Oklahoma,
right,
which is about a 1,600 mile run from here, right? He got the text messages and everything. She was on her way to him. So, it was still some dealings there. So, my thing is,
So where Wack's getting some of this information from, it's interesting, very interesting. You guys, give me one quick second. I'm going to try my best to see if I can resolve this issue. Give me one quick moment. Again, I'm dropping the StreamYard link there for anybody who wants to come up and share the discussion, share their opinion about the discussion. You can jump up as well. Give me one quick moment.
Historically have gotten pregnant by other men and told their husbands or boyfriends this is their kid.
That's my point.
This has happened since the dawn of time.
This is my point. There's only one type of woman who will not give you that test. That's a woman that's not sure.
Not sure, exactly.
Right? We've been trying to get it for Blue. He wants one. So let's like...
I don't know how much we can, agree with that statement that Wack made about there's only one type of woman that may or may not want to have, a pregnancy test, right?
Why won't she just do a test to shut somebody up? You know what I'm saying? So this ain't on him.
Now, he did claim that Blueface wants one. I'm not sure if we have any receipts of Blueface claiming that he wants another one. But I thought that was quite interesting. I'm not sure exactly why Wack is doing all of this. Like I said, just meddling, with the idea and speaking about, this particular child and the dad and all this kind of stuff. To me, it really gets weird because, as I mentioned, this is supposed to be someone that represents Blueface. And we know, that Blueface came out many times, claiming this baby. So we're not too sure why, again, Wack 100 is stirring the pot. But as we can see, it's giving a lot of different emotions in the chat, right? We got Roxy here stating that she can't stand Wack and he's the biggest snake and Blueface needs to open his eyes about Wack 100. Nicola says, why should she do a test for these people? She don't have to prove nothing, right? All for Love starring is mentioning in the chat as well. Just stop. Wack needs to worry about himself, And then Louisiana Girl bringing up a very interesting point. that I think a lot of people, acknowledge is that a test was already done, right? So why are we still here right now? Why is this discussion still happening, right? And why is it coming from Blueface's team member? That's, or manager, should we say, nonetheless, if he indeed still is Blueface's manager, right? Because some people I know on the streets are spreading or talking about that, that allegedly, there may be something else going on when it comes to who Blueface's manager is. Walinda says Blue hasn't been asking for one. Evidently, Blues believes that's his son, and and that's where I stand too. I don't think I've heard Blueface come out and say anything to that fashion. Now we do know Blueface throws his pity party every so often when he gets frustrated, right? So we do know he plays his following and unfollowing games, and we do know a lot of people question why he would involve the child when he's upset or he's having these issues or feelings around Chrisean Rock. Now, All for Love Starling says the Chriseans are the algorithm, most definitely, and that could be another big reason why Wack 100 always wants to make sure that he addresses something when it comes to Chrisean and Blueface, especially in these DJ Vlad TV interviews, right? Nicola did mention if she did a test and again proves Blueface is the dad, then what's next? Are they going to make another man start claiming to be the dad and keep this going? And that's interesting because this, it kind of brings us to where, Ronnie is the that ex-boyfriend that's, the mascot now of this whole, idea of who's the daddy type thing, right? Because we see a lot of actions from Ronnie, but a lot of them point to the clout chasing for the most part, right? Jumping on major platforms when it comes to interviews, jumping on other platforms, and then now, dropping a song, things like that. It's making a lot of viewers think that a lot of this is bases around, a clout chase, right? Trying to come up off certain people's names. So a lot of this becomes quite interesting, y'all, quite interesting, right? Letitia says here, hey, Blue Rock Wack, aka Three Fingers, need to go under a rock. He sucks. Why y'all say Three Fingers? You made me look at the man's hand for a second. I was like, did I miss something?
It ain't on either male.
Okay. When he was out, did Blueface ever have
Definitely
custody of the kid?
No,
never.
There's not even a father's name on the birth certificate.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so adding hype to things that we already knew, right, occurred. I guess maybe perhaps for as the simple fact of adding to the narrative, who knows? I'm gonna fast forward that a bit because as you guys can see, I'm skipping through the video. Don't want to give it all away. If you want to see the whole thing, you're gonna have to go to his channel.
No, what I'm saying is like, I can't blame him. And by the looks of it, the child may have some.
All right, so we're not going to go into that part either. I'm going to fast forward that because we don't really focus or talk about children in that extent. I'm a little ashamed that, Wack would go to that extent, especially not knowing any better, right? He has the connection to speak to other people, so I'm not sure why he would use that rather than going off of what, Nemo would have said online. Because if you do hear this part, you go to Vlad TV's channel and you hear this part, he's basing a lot of these things now on what Nemo has said, on what Nemo had saw, right? So it does beg the question to why Wack would put so much emphasis on what Nemo's doing and what Nemo is saying, right? So that's why sometimes I don't blame the viewers when they start pointing fingers at Wack when when they think about the thought process of who Nemo might be working with.
Is give one of them the test. See?
Can you legally compel a woman to get a DNA test of a
you
child?
go to court.
I want to move on from that but as you guys can see, a lot of this snippet focuses on the child, focuses on Ronnie, focuses on, the paternity of it all.
That we know is not Blue's.
Yeah.
Or give it to Blue. And if it comes back negative, 70% of the time. So
notice he says, or give it to Blue, and if it comes back negative, but I thought, and we all know that there was a test already done with Blue, so that's interesting.
What I'm saying, bro, is just that the child's like 15 months. Hey, man, do the test. You know what I'm saying? Put a name, be able to put a name with a surety on that birth certificate, right? That child deserves the right to know as he grows. whatever it may be. Me knowing Blue, you know, just shoot it out there. You know, I got to keep it real. You know what I mean? I believe he loves the woman personally, right? And
he tattooed her name on his face.
You know, and I'm gonna be real. You know, I'm just guesstimating. I haven't had this conversation with nephew or not, but you know, I believe that whatever.
So he goes, I'm just guesstimating. I never had this conversation with nephew or not. And then, a little bit further down on his statement, he said, I know this because I spoke to him about it. So when we're listening to context and we're thinking about what's being said, we got to really hear, this is, I think the statements that follow up right now is where he's saying that he hasn't spoke about this particular issue. But then further on going down, when he speaks about the other stuff, he's saying that he did talk to him about that. Let's take a listen here.
The situation may be, I believe that, he will take on the responsibility. I don't believe it would stop him from dealing with her. And within dealing with her, he's going to deal with the child, even if it went against being his, me personally, right? What I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
So he would still stay with Chrisean knowing the baby isn't his?
I believe so. I believe honestly, right? I'm just keeping it real as a man, right? That he honestly loves Chrisean.
Seems like it. Yeah.
Or in love.
So here's the part, that really baffles me a bit. So I honestly believe that he loves Chrisean or he's in love with Chrisean. So here's the part where I kind of wonder, like, where Wack kind of stands when it comes to Blueface. Are you coming from the part of, like, being a family member? Are you coming from a part of, talking, as his manager? Because, for somebody to say, I believe he loves her, I believe he's in love with her, but then yet come with all this other talks before it really makes me question his integrity with the whole thing, right? Is Wack really just clouded by his alleged hate for Chrisean or the alleged focus that Blueface has on Chrisean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it really creates a lot of questions to why this grown man here would say the things he does, but acknowledge that Blueface is in love with this woman. That kind of makes me really question a lot when it comes to him and what he. What's going on, Mama Kajola?
Hey,
How's it going?
Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm good, a little bit sick, but I had to come because I'm so sick of Wack. Like, looking at him just pisses me off. Like, just go away. You and Ronnie just go play in traffic, holding hands, flower it, whatever they call it, frolic, whatever. Just go away. Both of y'all, go away.
Listen, we gonna get into something later about Ronnie because apparently he's doing a dating show, but I don't know. He's tagging Wack and Karlissa, and and some people were scared at first, thinking he might be doing a dating show trying to date Wack. But y'all, I don't know if that's what was going on. I think we'll clarify that a little bit later.
I mean, they do seem to be up each other's. Yeah. I'm sorry, I had to throw it in there. But I mean, this is my thing. I don't know. Wack doesn't seem like he's actually talking to Blue like everybody was saying in the comments. And as far as I'm concerned, he's not promoting him. I don't see him or his team doing anything for him while he's locked up. I don't see anybody. The last thing we heard was Chrisean was paying on the bills while he was locked up. Remember when she went live when they had their argument before she got locked up? And he was saying like his bills in jail is like $20,000. Like, I don't know. So who's actually even talking and dealing with Blue besides all these Blue girls that's trying to come around? Like, do we have any receipts or anybody that's
well, that's what we question a lot for sure, because we don't see, like for example, we've seen blog pages mention time over time that Blueface's team is the one that controls his Instagram. But time over time, we've seen fans and viewers and just others in general kind of ask Blueface's team, then where is the promotions? Where is his music? Where is, the advertisement of his merch? Because if you do have access to his IG, you would think that they would be utilizing that at some point to get those things done. So the level of management or the degree to the team that he may or may not have, I think that comes up, it's questionable, right? A lot of people question the strength or the integrity behind it, because Blueface has been behind bars for quite some time, and we haven't really seen movement from what should be a quote unquote team when it comes to, you know, promoting him as an artist.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, he literally just said he was talking to the girl who he thought was deaf. I think you did a live and pulled up that video, what, not even 30 days ago? It's like, come on, Wack, just be quiet. You're trying to be relevant. You're beefing out and crashing out with damn near, it almost seems like other celebrities at this point, cussing people out. And I'm just like, what are you even here for? What are we doing? Like, what are you doing? And him talking about the test, at the end of the day, like, and I think you mentioned this, right? If Jonathan is not asking or saying anything about a DNA test, I'm truly trying to understand all the fans who are saying that Chrisean isn't his. But did y'all lay down? Did y'all have like a little I'm trying to understand, if the pappy ain't even asking or tripping about it, why are y'all? Like,
Well, this is
he's
it, right? And we know how it's going to go. You know, like, she's already produced the test. They've already showed what's going on. It was on a TV. It was with a big accredited, you know, agency. And still there's questions. Still there's drama about it. You know, I think it's fair to say that even so, and even with, and even how, people are still going to make up what they want to make up. You know what I mean? And it's sad, you know, and like I said, the focus really is, it's sad to see that Wack 100 at this point would acknowledge the love. You know what? He would even acknowledge that Blueface would show support regardless of what an outcome might be. You understand? But yet, as a full-grown man, he's still But yet, as a full-grown man, he's sitting up on here saying these other things. Like, that to me is where people should really be like, what is happening here? Because it's very inconsistent. You know, if we're thinking about genuine feelings, if you ask me.
I 100% agree. Like, you could have just left out Ronnie through the whole interview, I guess. And number one, can we please stop bringing up the fact, because I saw another blogger talking about Blueface called somebody saying she was a snitch, all this stuff. I'm like, look, the girl was what, 18, 19? First of all, I'm not going to prison. I don't care if it's self-defense or whatever. I'm not going to get caught up in that. Number one, you know, that's young to be in an environment like that. And I'm just over the fact that people keep saying, or Wack bringing up, well, he caught a body. Karlissa, well, he caught a body. And, you know, she put my son in the same situation, calling him to take care of or meet up with somebody to beat somebody up. Man, if y'all, stop. Okay, this girl, I swear, Chrisean is a god. I have never seen so many people give a person so much power. Chrisean is definitely, I'm a Chrisean fan. But it's like people like Karlissa, Wack, Ronnie, using her and blaming her for all of their life choices, or Karlissa's blaming her for her son's life choices. When do we call it quits and have people take accountability for their own actions? Chrisean has taken responsibility for everything, even stuff dealing with her son. So if something is going on with her son, you don't think she's not dealing with that? You know, like, when are these other grown people going to take accountability? When? That's all I want to know.
I don't know. They, like I said, it's crazy how, you know, and I've always said this, you know, bloggers have a different sense of responsibility and accountability than friends and family. You know what I'm saying? And even we find ourselves having a lot of issues with, you know, what some bloggers choose to do and how they choose to interact when it comes to dealing with or talking about children. But then, you know, when, you know, imagine trying to deal with that at that level. But then here we are dealing with friends and family members that are around these people, and they're not setting, you know, a better example at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you said, where's the accountability, right? It's like, you know, where does it start? Where does it end? You know, because at the end of the day, you can't in one way say, you know, let's advocate for this person, but yet you're part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? You're part of the issue that's creating tension around certain things. So it's a little bit weird for me. Like I said, it kind of gives this, you know, I don't know if what he's I'm telling you, I'm baffled with, you know, even this little 8 minutes of what's on Vlad's channel. And if you guys go over there and see the full thing, even the 8 minutes that's what's on here, it's like, you know, what you're saying is not supportive of Blueface, and how you're saying he feels supportive with Chrisean and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? The other part that really irritated me in this here is, you know, let me play it and then we'll talk about it a bit here. One second.
With her, he may not like some of her ways, right? And I believe that he has hopes that she may grow out of some of these ways, right? I think, well, I know that he's made the decision to invest his time and patience into her. He's told me this, right? I'm giving her time. I'm just being patient. I think she's a smart girl. You know, she's gonna come out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just me. You know, he hasn't told me he would stay or he would go, you know, but if I had to bet on it, I don't believe he would just leave.
Oh my God.
You know, and I think that's there's a lot said there, but I'm going to say I think that's the sore point right there for Wack. If we're going to start there, is he don't believe he will ever leave, and you know, and I think he shows that that's a sore point for him, because, you know, like I said, if this is what you believe and if this is how you feel, right, then why is it you wouldn't try to show support in a way that people could help cultivate a healthy relationship, if that's what we're referring to? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't, it doesn't add up in a sense. And then, you know, what really irritates me in a bit about what he says there is that he's almost making it sound as if Blueface is the one that needs to be careful minded with the changes that Chrisean's making, that the ways that Chrisean has, and so on and so forth. But let's take notice here, okay? Chrisean is the one that's outside right now, free to do whatever Chrisean wants to do, and she's on her holy journey, her God's plan journey, whichever, you know, way people want to phrase that. That's what she's on, right? Blueface is the one stuck behind bars, right? And he's still in his ways of, you know, jumping on with side chicks, you know, entertaining all this kind of circus side type stuff and whatnot. So when it comes to somebody making the statements of, you know, making it sound like one partner is trying to focus on whether or not another partner, you know, would coincide or can exist within their values or so on, you know, I kind of felt like what he was saying about Blueface should have probably been more so about Rock. You know, I feel like Rock needs to kind of pay more attention to what Blueface is doing. Rock needs to see if, you know, what Blueface does is really in line with where she wants to go, and so on and so forth. You know, are you feeling what I'm saying here, Mama Kajola? Like, are you following with, you know, because to me, I felt like he was. Go ahead.
No, I was basically agreeing with you. The fact that they both been quiet, you know, Jonathan throws his tantrums, deletes his Instagram, deletes, unfollow, delete, unfollow. Like, I swear he's going through menopause in there. But, you know, the fact that they're both quiet and now back following each other, I do think they do talk, you know, every day, 24/7. At this point for Blueface, like I said, the fact that his team isn't at least marketing his music or merchandise, I don't even understand what's the point of him even being on Instagram himself. Is he even allowed to be on the phone anymore? I know he had some of his rights taken away, but I can't remember if he was able to get back on the phone, like the jail.
That is a good question, right? Because I don't. It's a good question because I don't think we've seen any, you know, update or anything. Now I do have Breeze here as well, a viewer backstage. Just to let you know, Breeze, everybody can come here and share the difference of opinion, but we do have to be respectful. If you do have, you know, us running in the background or any background noise, try to keep it at a minimum. What's going on? How's everything going?
Hey, Bree.
Rock, what's going on, y'all? You know, it takes a lot for somebody to want to come up here and say anything, but I've been following the circus for a long time, and I'm just going to say this. I've heard everybody else's opinion, so I'm going to...
Breeze, do you mind coming closer to the phone? I'm not sure if it's on speaker or whatnot, but you're echoing, so it might be a bit harder for the viewers to hear you.
Yeah, I think she's on speakerphone. Maybe you got to get closer to the phone.
Okay, give me a second, Blue Rock. Let me fix it out.
Okay, no worries.
And another thing, I see people are talking about Blueface music and Ronnie music. That's fine. If Ronnie wants to promote his music, go get your big one, son. But my thing is, you're doing all these interviews, you're chasing the cloud, you're talking about doing music, and meanwhile, hashtag Save Junior. Are you serious? Like, are you serious? You're
I
trying to
know it.
promote a show, but it's what?
I
Bro,
know
I
it.
can't make this up. I can't make this up. Like, nobody sees anything wrong with that. Like, nobody. I mean, the child looks nothing like him. Nothing like him at all.
I hear you. You know, and that's the thing. I think that's where people are really questioning, you know, Ronnie a lot, right? Because he came out with this whole idea that, oh, I'm not clout chasing. You know, leave the baby, leave all this stuff alone, y'all. And but then all of a sudden, he's, you know, he's trying to make it different. He's trying to make it different. Like he did say on one of his live that Blue Rock TTV just wanted to give him exposure. We didn't want to give him any money, and he's about, you know, getting some money. So I mean, in a way, I
Yeah.
guess he's not hiding the idea that he's looking to get paid right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, let's just look at the fact he did a live saying free Blueface.
Now I want to
free
let Breeze
Chrisean.
back up here. Breeze, what's going on?
All right, can you hear me good?
It sounds like the audio just. Everybody in the chat, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can y'all hear me good? Okay, I'm gonna type in the comments if nobody can hear me because I want to make sure I get this out here.
No, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
All right, so this here, this is. All right, there we go. Okay, so here we go. I've spoken to Ronnie, right? And to believe it or not, the internet is always going to take someone and, you know, put their own narrative together. But he's actually very highly intelligent, and it may come off one way to the internet, but I'm gonna be honest and non-biased. There is a possibility that is his child. Okay, now the paperwork and things, the test that was done.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. Breeze, you're cutting out. You're cutting out, and here we go.
Okay, how about now? How about now?
That ain't his baby. That ain't his baby. That's not his baby.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. When you said how about now, I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we don't want to really say, okay, that's God, because we all serve an awesome God, and I believe we have the same creator, but we just cannot rule out that it may not be a chance that it's his, you know? So I think go ahead.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand if a DNA test is done. I personally worked with the DDC as well, so I really want to comprehend your thought process. And since you've spoken with Ronnie, I'm trying to comprehend how a DDC test is inaccurate. The Chrisean is 1 year old. You're pregnant for 9 months, so it's safe to say 2 years. It's been 2 years. Okay, 2 years, 9 months pregnant. You know, and then now he's 1, and it was through the DDC. They've already showed where they both got the DNA test done. Right? You can call these places, and if you're in California, you can do a walk-in as far as I care. So I'm trying to understand your thought process that you feel like the DDC test is inaccurate, would risk their credibility. The people who did the swabbing of the mouth, the agency itself, would risk their credibility. The possibility is at a negative 0.1. There's no logic or scientific logic behind it for that to make sense. And again, people can contact DDC and ask these questions themselves. Can a TV network even use DDC's slogan and put out false information?
That is accurate. But what I'm stating is, with these allegations, I believe, honestly, like I said, I have spoken to Ronnie before, and what I feel at this time, this is a lot of personal feelings. You feel me? Because this was her guy at the time. You know, he came out here to Cali with her. He did this process with her. It was a situation where somebody was unalive. But what I'm saying is to stop all of these allegations.
But what? Okay, I don't know if her phone cut out, but what do those allegations have to do with him unaliving somebody and Chrisean Jr. being hit? That's none of that is irrelevant to each other. She stopped dealing with Ronnie. Rather, she even treated him as a hot and ready here and there. A test was done. Let it go. If Jonathan's not doing it, and that's who she was predominantly with these last few years, let it go. Let time and let the universe do what it's gonna do. It's going on 2 years, people. We gonna be in 2028. Oh, we need to get this test. Y'all, I swear to God. Make it make sense.
Listen, Lakeisha, what's going on? I'm not sure what happened to Breeze. It looks like her device disconnected. But Lakeisha, what's up?
Hello.
What's up, Lakeisha?
Hey,
If
how
I said your
y'all
name
doing?
right, I'm sorry if I didn't say your name right.
I just don't understand why they keep messing with Chrisean. It doesn't make no sense. They had a DNA test. What more do they want? Then here come Ronnie. I think Ronnie just think that Chrisean owed him something because they was together in the past. Then it's just a lot with this story. He think Chrisean owed him something. Then Karlissa don't like Chrisean because she want him to be with Jaden because he was with her when she was he was with her when he was 14, 15 years old. I was with somebody 14 to 15 years old. I'm not with them today. Life goes on. If the boy want to move on, leave him alone. I mean, leave him alone and leave Rock alone. Then they want to say, oh, that Blueface is not his child that had a DNA test. Then I think Wack 100, do he want Blueface for himself? Because something ain't right with that picture. Something is not right
You
with that
know,
picture.
Saying the same thing like that. Look, Karlissa even said was like, you know what, we didn't have Blueface together. Now I know you don't like Chrisean. Like she even had to bring up the fact, bro, fall back a little bit. You on Blue's dick a little bit too much. Too much.
Yeah, they don't like her. People be like that in people's family. It be certain people you don't want to see your family with. But if that's who they choose to be with, leave them alone and let them be happy. Stop dragging their name.
this is
If
it. This
she
is
don't
it.
want Ronnie, she don't owe Ronnie nothing. Even if she did sleep with Ronnie, she know that that's not Ronnie baby. They had a DNA test. I guess he want everybody to feel like they slept together. If they did, so what?
Right.
They had a DNA test and it's not is not his child.
Man, tell me
What
something.
difference does it make if she did sleep with? That's what it
Now,
seemed like they trying to make it
this
seem.
this brings up the other thing, though, right? Is people claiming Ronnie's clout chasing, all that kind of stuff, which seems to be, he's definitely taken on that part of it. You even heard Karlissa at some point try to give him, I don't know what. Listen, I don't know what Karlissa was trying to do that time when she was on live with him, but she did say, well, sometimes when you get the clout, this kind of comes with it. Like I don't know if she turned in like she was doing management style there for a second for anybody who's clout chasing. Here's how it works. But at the end of the day, she did say to him that he's getting certain attractions or certain people watching certain things. And I don't know if that's part of what got to his head, y'all. I don't know if there's some women hitting him up in his DMs or what's going on because,
He's trying to make it. That's what it is. He want to make it, and he's
because
trying to use her.
somebody must have put in this man's head that he should start a new show.
I mean, he's made like 2 songs about the girl. I mean, he's making music about her. Like, I heard another one of his songs that he posted on, I guess, the stories, and I'm listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, what the heck? This man is obsessed. And I mean, can we stop ignoring the fact that when Chrisean got locked up, which was 4 months ago now, He did a whole live saying free Blueface, free Chrisean. He was like, man, y'all, that ain't my baby. You know, that's definitely a Blueface baby. And then also keep in mind, nobody brought Ronnie up until Blueface, who was going through the denial issue. He's the one who said it could be the ex. So then social media, people in social media was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It could be Ronnie's. And boom, we created a monster. All it took was
Yo,
for
I'd like to invite
Blueface.
Lisa. Lisa, why don't you come up here? Come up here and have a chat with us. Let me drop the StreamYard link. You know, we invite all people of different opinions, you know, and she seems like a hardcore Ronnie supporter. I guess she's the one that's sparking the idea of Ronnie songs being lit and Ronnie being better than Blueface when it comes to music.
He
I
That
ain't
can't
ain't
gonna
be
got
lie,
nothing to do
Ronnie.
with the baby.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
sweet.
Listen, I think Ronnie is. I don't think Ronnie is a slow individual. I think he does have talent when it comes to his music and the way he produces his stuff. But I do think that he has led himself to appear to be slow. I do think he's doing slow activities. You know what I'm saying? And I do think this is why he's gained the name Nemo and other things that he's gained along the way, because essentially, you know, and I've always said this, if he believes what he believes to a certain extent, he could have done what he could have done as a full-grown man behind the scenes, not cause all this type of negativity towards the baby, not try to make it look like he's simply just clout chasing. Like, I'm telling you, you're pushing your music that has nothing to do, you know, with the idea of you choosing, you know, the baby and all that stuff. You should have done all this separately. It literally points to clout chasing. Now, out of nowhere, when I think, you know, your hype has kind of settled a bit, you're now coming in with, you know, starting filming for my new show, who's interested. And now,
Like,
even I think when he posted this, I don't even think he had any basis to anything, because then I think he posted after about, you know, ideas for a show or something. It's weird.
Mhm.
his perception for Chrisean keeps changing too. That's also weird. He gives her praise, but then he knocks her down in the same breath. Everybody is confused about this girl. It's crazy.
I think he just got to keep bringing her name up in order for anybody to really pay attention to him, right? The sad reality of this is Ronnie does have a past for Chrisean Rock, right? When that ended or not, you know, we haven't really heard much of Chrisean's story besides the idea of when she was stopping, you know, his clout chasing in the tracks from, I think, a year ago or so. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, we can't speak to what Chrisean's story might be. But what we do know is that Ronnie's stories, and a lot of Ronnie's stories that he tries to present himself with, changes from time to time, from interview to interview. And that's something that we can bring notice to, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. And Ronnie has jumped online quite a few times, you know, changing his story quite a few times and providing inconsistencies towards it. And I don't know why people are tending to ignore that part of it.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead
You
and do
know,
your
here's
show. Go
another
ahead and do
post.
your music, but leave the baby out of it. You're not even the pappy. You weren't. Do it behind the doors. Whatever you gonna do, you don't need to bring social media into it. That's how you know
And
for a fact you're doing it for clout.
exactly. And Michelle Johnson here says, but the past doesn't make him entitled. No, and you are correctly, I mean, sorry, you are correct with that. But what I mean by bringing that up is that, you know, I think his past gives the perception, right, that there might be something more going on, that he might be credible in saying something for some, not for critical thinkers and for all. What I'm saying is, for some, that's easily perceived. And I think by me mentioning this is in hopes that people realize what you just said, Michelle Johnson, is that just because he has a past doesn't make him entitled to anything, right? And it doesn't mean
Exactly.
that any of this means anything. It just simply could mean that he's using that past to try to gain some sort of notoriety out of this whole situation.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a complete random, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a random, you know?
I'm sick of him saying he caught a body. I caught a body. Do you know how many people in this world does self defense or catches a body, so to speak? You say, like, come on, bro. I mean, you from the streets, right? Oh, okay, so
But
I mean,
when
come
he
on now.
tell when he tell that story, it makes me feel like he's something wrong with him, because he was saying that the guy was was playing with God and Chrisean was praying for him. Then he seen the guy. It made me feel like the devil got into him and he just killed him. And that's how I take it. You get that's the way that he tell that story. That's how I take it.
Yeah, I
Something
have.
ain't right.
I,
Something ain't right with that. But it didn't have nothing to do with Chrisean, because he did say that they left Chrisean. She was there praying for the man. So if she was praying for that man after you shot him,
yeah,
therefore you
let's just
done.
watch the language that we
Oh, I'm
use when we
sorry.
talk about it. That's okay.
After you done what you after he done what he done to him, she was praying for the man. They left her praying for the man. So how did you do something? Why? How did you do that because of her? He done that because he wanted to do that, because he had the devil in him, because he said the guy was trying to use God to get to Chrisean. It just it don't sound right to me. It makes me feel like something is wrong with him. Even with him running out and running up on Chrisean at that mall, I wouldn't put nothing past him. You put all that stuff together, something ain't right with that guy's mind.
I hear that.
Something is not right with him.
Now, Wanny
And
wants to
it
say
ain't
out
that
of.
him being slow.
I hear
People
that.
like that to
Listen,
do something to you.
Wanny wanted to say that news alert: Amazon workers have expanded their strike. Check on your packages. Now, y'all got Amazon workers striking right
They're
now.
looking out. Yeah, everybody. Well, Party City is closing. Big Lots is closing. I'm from Detroit. They done bought half of the auto industry now, laying off people out there. So
That's crazy. Because the thing is that everybody knows I'm in Canada, right? So for Canada, we got Canada Post that was on strike for the little while here. They just recently got put back to work, but they were on strike for a little while here, and we just kept saying, well, at least we got Amazon still. But you guys seem to be facing the opposite issue, right? Y'all got your regular post office going, but now Amazon be on strike, so. That's
yeah,
crazy. But anyways, thanks for the quick news alert there. Sorry for interrupting you guys. I don't know, but Ronnie, he doesn't seem to surprise people. Like now, he's always trying to reach out to No Jumper, or now look, he's trying to reach out to Wack 100. It looks like, and Karlissa, saying somebody tell Wack and Karlissa Ronnie needs to speak ASAP, not through IG either.
I mean, so I'm gonna be so honest. If everybody really, really wants to know the tea, these are public records. This case was in 2019, right? If y'all really want to know what happened in that courtroom, typically by now some stuff might be coded and blacked out, but you can pull these records up. Most cases are public record. Now, who wants to sit and read through a whole trial? Hey, if you a real fan, be about your business. The fact that he keeps changing his story, I don't give a damn anymore. I'm just bringing up this girl because she's the algorithm right now. You killed somebody, okay, great, move along.
Unalive.
Oh, unalive. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Or catch a body, whichever. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah. You unalive somebody, Brody. Like, okay, move along. I mean, I'm definitely sorry to the family. I mean, I grew up around that stuff. I've lost people. I've had people involved with stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is. Can we move along? If you want to promote your music, do you, my baby, do you. But stop bringing up Chrisean and her child. You literally, a few months before she got out, said you were not the father. You flat out even said the baby don't look like you. I'm not the father, y'all. And I'm going to try to find that video and send it to you, Blue Rock, and all the other pages so y'all can blast it, because it was literally a few months ago. Make it make sense. So nobody is thinking the fact that this.
Yeah, I got the video. We played it in one of our lives. We played it in one of our lives as well. I think it's the same live where I think he had later jumped on with Bonnie and stuff too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I just know he said free Chrisean and free Blueface. That needs to be the next thing that we blast and tag him in it, because I'm gonna be like, step into the light, Caroline, make it make sense. Where was this energy versus now? I'm confused. I don't care.
I think we're gonna want to see the energy. You know what I'm saying? Because Blueface says don't blink. He gonna be out. Everybody's saying around June, July. So I think hopefully the battery pack dies out before that. But I'm just saying, if not, it's interesting to see what energy is going to be given, I guess, around that particular time.
Well, we got to keep in mind too, when Blueface gets out, he's going to be under restrictions as well. You know, just like Chrisean can't be rah-rah, Blueface can't be rah-rah. So I really hate
This
to
is
see
true.
them two get, you know, I would hate to see even Ron. I don't want to see any brother get locked up or go through that.
No,
But
exactly,
Blueface, if he's
exactly.
smart, yeah, if Blueface is smart, he's gonna do what Chrisean is doing and just, you know, you got a restaurant going, you got a show coming. Let's get to work, get the bag. All that rah-rah stuff, it's irrelevant. The only thing I hope he does is just, y'all, this is my kid. I was in my feelings. The test is legit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what did Karlissa say? He was driving in the middle of the night to beat up Power Rangers. He did it. He kidnapped his own son. Like, come on,
Black
guys.
Diamond, what do you mean? So this is another post that Ronnie had shared here, I guess from yesterday about this whole show thing that he's trying to entertain. And he goes, "For the love of Ronnie," featuring Karlissa. Like, what is that supposed to mean? You know,
If
what are your
Karlissa
thoughts,
does
you
that,
guys?
she is a horrible mother, bro. If Karlissa does anything with that man while her son is locked up, I would disown her. There's no way. There is no, this man just threatened your son multiple times, talking about he would even fight Blueface, and you're entertaining and lollygagging with the thought of having your name in the same sentence as his, being brought up in the same conversation. Are we serious?
She don't care. All she care about is money. But I think he need to stop dealing with his mother and Wack. He need to put Wack in his place also. He need to stop dealing with both of them.
When he says, "Wouldn't it be something if Wack and Blueface," so she's including Blueface, "are paying him? It keeps interested in the circus." Now listen, I don't know if Wack or Blueface would be paying this particular person because the way he comes off online, it looks like he's hoping somebody gonna pay him. But what I do think, and what comes to mind sometimes is, are they just allowing it to an extent so because it does keep the circus going? You know what I'm saying? Are they allowing these free circus acts to do what they do and bounce around because in some sense it does bring stuff to the circus? So, when I think that way, a big part of my mind goes, well, who's going to allow that when it really, puts some, I guess, negative attention to the children and stuff? Like, who's really going to allow that as adults? But in reality, when we look at how Blueface was and who really kind of started, this particular type of energy, if you want to put it that way, it kind of makes you think that, it kind of makes me believe that, yeah, maybe they are just allowing it to an extent, because it does keep the circus going, right? Um, what do some of y'all think about that?
I mean, get it how you live, but when you start running up on people with surgical gloves and a ski mask, hey, Michigan is the right to carry state. Georgia is the right to
Talk
carry
about it.
state. It would have been nothing for me to run up if you want to. Run up if you want to with my child. So I don't know. That if they are doing this for a bag, that's where you gotta draw the line. Cause ain't no way.
Well,
Ain't no way.
exactly, right? And you bring a great point, right? Is that, these things did go to court, right? These things did go to a peace order, right? So when we see things like that, how much are we to still believe that, no, they're allowing this? No, this is just for the circus. Oh, no, excuse me, they're pretending. You know what I mean? Because when we see these things hit the court, it kind of makes us feel like, okay, wait a second, right? And in all fairness, when it comes to the mall incident, a lot of people were up in my DMs kind of saying, I hope Chrisean does something. I hope she does something, because if not, it's going to look a certain way, and she did, right? She did something for the time being, for when she needed it, so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, it kind of makes you see that yeah, some of this stuff may be internet stuff, but it does get too far, and it can get too far, right? And in the case of Ronnie and how we've seen the crash out occur, and him coming on certain ways online and so on, he hasn't done so just recently in a bit, but from what we saw, there were, it was quite concerning, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm trying to understand the surgical gloves. The young lady said that he's very intelligent. And I'm not going to take it away, but I know a bullshitter. I don't care how intelligent you are, but I want to understand the logic behind the blue gloves. Does anybody know why he wears blue gloves all of a sudden now?
So you know the blue glove thing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The blue glove thing. When I was editing this particular video here that I put back online. Hold on. Let me see if it'll let me. I don't know why I'm having so many. The blue glove thing kind of. You know how people say this man seems like he's trying to duplicate some of Blueface's stuff, try to redo Blueface. You know what I'm saying? Even Rivardo Allen here says he copied Blue. Like when I was editing this particular video and doing this particular video, and I used this clip here from Blueface, and I saw Blueface's gloves again and the black gloves. I kind of thought Ronnie. I really did think, how similar those two impressions were.
Yeah. So he's really mimicking Blue. So he's trying to do a TV show. He's really trying to copy. I mean, when you really sit far back and pay attention to the movement of this whole situation, he's literally trying to body Blueface's life. And Chrisean is the denominator because that's the one thing they both literally have in common, right? So it's easy to paint that narrative because of Chrisean. But he's literally trying to say that's my baby. I'm doing music. I'm doing a
So
TV
he's
show.
literally trying to follow the blueprint, I guess.
Yeah, it's creepy. That's not intelligent. That's creepy. That's creepy. Okay? Like, you literally lied about the mall situation. Chrisean did not make a fake page with AJ's name. That's and then they said go get her. Like, I don't think he realized when he aired that he tried to show a subway. Who cares about a subway? You just told on yourself, you big dummy.
Listen, that part to me was, one of, I guess, our funniest moments. If I was to do a funniest moments for the year, I would definitely put that up. If you were to do like an episode of like dummy criminal type, thing, I think that would be one of the stuff that they would use. Like no real shade to you, Ronnie, but it is what it is. I mean, if you go, I mean, we gonna speak the truth. That was quite stupid, right? Like,
It was donkey of the day. Where's Charlemagne? It was donkey of the day. But I noticed
exactly.
When he gets worked up, and this is how you can tell a person how they handle pressure or if they're under pressure or anxiety, right? He starts yelling, he moves around and jumps from one topic, he changes topics, he starts to distort what he's saying. And this happens when people are getting caught up in their lives, when they have such a large platform. When you see the comments coming in, you're trying to address everybody's comment, plus with the thought that's already in your mind. But see, this happens when you trip over your words because it's not true. It's not coming from a true place. It's coming from a falsified narrative. And this is how people get caught up in court. They get caught up in lies. They trip on it.
Right. And for those that don't know what some of us are talking about, because, some of y'all might not follow it the same way everybody follows it, but Ronnie had done a live with Karlissa. And on that live, we also put it on our IG, but on that live, he was stating that Chrisean was the one who kind of hinted off to where she was, I guess, trying to arrange. And this is probably just to let you guys know, like the third storyline that he had tried to produce for how he got himself to the mall when it comes to that mall incident. So he was trying to say that Chrisean may have been the one that sent him the message from a burner page. And then when he went to show the burner page, it's either he went to the wrong page or either he went to the right page is what I'm assuming. But of course, it did not align on with his story or show what his story was. Indeed, it actually showed that this page was sending him messages about, I think, the CPS, like reporting on CPS. And then it was sending him a message about where Chrisean's location was, with the message at the bottom that clearly stated to go get her. You know what I'm saying? And the intentions of those words, go get her, is also quite scary, especially the way that he showed up that day. I do have it on hand right now, so I'm going to play it quickly just for those who potentially missed it.
You see that? You see that?
And at this point, y'all see Karlissa, I don't know about y'all, but Karlissa was probably like me, like, see what? What are we looking at? I'm looking at a storefront on Google. Like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, I think Carlos is not slow. She
Trying
an
to make
OG.
her look
She
at. But you guys can see here on the left of what he's trying to show there and what it says, right? They send the Google location, and it says, she's back to wherever. Damn, get her, Ronnie, right? So it shows all that right there.
listen when he put
This
that
Chrisean
screen on that
is
subway,
known.
he knew what he was doing.
But my thing is this, like, if that was the fake narrative that he was trying to run with, like, why not be better prepared? Because this is just sloppy. This reminded me of the bottle incident, like, I don't know if there was trying to make him set up a fake bottle, or I don't know if he was doing what some people were claiming he was doing, but it was very sketchy the way it all went down.
I mean, who takes a bottle and fills it up a quarter of the way and places it randomly? Then the way he did the camera and his bot, man, look, it was the best stage performance I've ever seen in my life. Like, it made zero sense.
The way he was back to the camera had me.
Right, exactly.
The way he was back to the camera had me. It's like, you know what? Like, I imagine the guy goes, oh, shoot, I forgot to put the bottle down over there. And he's like, oh, well, who cares? Let me go over there and do it anyways. You know what I'm saying? But, just like this screenshot here, it just gave weird energy. It gave, like, what are they really getting you on here? How are they really staring you? Because this is just intense, Let me show you guys, in case you missed the bottle incident as well, on what we're talking about.
Or child support.
No, only because I know.
Sorry, it took a while to start. Y'all know I'm on technical difficulties here. But as you guys see at the beginning there, so let me give some background. What had happened is on the right-hand side where you see the circles, it seemed to me as if there was a narrative of people trying to run the idea that, look, that's the same bottle that Chrisean had at her Thanksgiving dinner. That's in Ronnie's thing. And then Ronnie trying to run the idea that potentially, perhaps maybe Chrisean was there or something. I don't know. But then you can see here on to the left, there was absolutely no bottle in the image besides that water bottle, and I don't know if that's some paper towel there, but that's all that was in the image. You see Ronnie there trying to do something funky, so I'm going to play it. Hopefully it'll play properly this time.
Oh, wait. They want to know if Junior is yours, will you ask for...
You can kind of see him twisting something and then putting something down and then walking away. So watch what comes in image after he sits down.
Child support.
No.
And then there's the bottle, right? So the whole joke about this is when Ronnie had reposted the photo on the right with the circles around the bottle, he basically goes, oh, y'all notice everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost agreeing with this particular photo collage. You know what I'm saying? But then they try to, I don't know, man. I don't know, y'all. It's kind of crazy out here. Sandra, what's up?
I just think it's hilarious. Oh,
Sandra. Yeah, Sandra should be here. Sandra, are you there?
I was here.
I don't know. I think she might be having some issues. Sandra, disconnect and reconnect. Because I don't know what's going on there.
Hey, come up, girl. That's my boo. But yeah, man, this is like literally watching a movie at this point, like a series on Tubi. This is a Tubi series. I'm convinced it's a Tubi series. If you know, you know. But
that's what I'm saying. Now, somebody had said earlier too that Ronnie, they wouldn't be surprised if Ronnie had pitched this show to who you call it, to Zeus, right? Now that'd be interesting. The question is, if Zeus doesn't get Chrisean or doesn't have Chrisean, would they stoop to the levels of bringing up the side acts to I guess use Chrisean's clout, I guess, is the new thing, right? So that's left to think. Part of me feels as if they don't get her, would they do a spinoff show? Who knows? I don't know, y'all. I don't really know the legality around that and if they can, but it is quite interesting. Nonetheless, shout out to the mods as well in the chat. Thanks again for coming through. Don't forget to hit that like button, y'all, if you haven't hit it already. There's over 270 people up in the chat. Good amount of likes, 138. But if you can go ahead and hit that like button right now, that would be appreciated as well. So, like I was mentioning earlier, Ronnie said he did a poll here, and the poll shows that 52% of people said yes and 48% says no. Now, the thing is that when he says featuring Karlissa, is Karlissa going to be the host? Is that what he means, or is he talking about he gonna try to hit up Mammy?
I swear, if Karlissa does it, I swear to God. I swear to
Right?
God.
Y'all think Karlissa might take advantage of this opportunity? Drop blue diamonds in the chat if you think Karlissa might take advantage of the opportunity of running a Ronnie dating show on her platform.
If she wants to salvage any relationship with her son Jonathan, she would stay out the way. And I don't think Chrisean would ever go for that. To be part of a spin-off or all. I cannot see Chrisean putting her approved stamp on that at all. I don't even think Blueface would want to do it. Again, Blueface is going to be on restrictions probably for a year or two himself. And then you got this firecracker over here. That's messy. All money ain't good money. That's messy to me. I don't think it'll be a smart move.
And he's showing results. When it comes to his poll here. When it comes to the 52 and the 48%, he's showing 331 people voted yes, and 309 people voted no. He did leak some of the people's votes there at the bottom. Shout out to them. You can see the ones that voted no, and the big baby 23 voted yes. So it is what it is. It's and he's getting a lot of pretty good traction here on his stories. If y'all take a look, 6,000, 5,000, 3,000 people watching, right? So he's gaining the traction that he's looking for, but whether or not and what he's actually aiming for is two different things, y'all. And it's sad that he's kind of taking the clout chasing off the baby kind of direction, but like some people said, maybe he's trying to take some things off of Blueface's marketing strategies, I guess. She's doing anything for money at this point. And when I asked the question about dropping blue diamonds, if they think Karlissa would entertain that type of show, some people were dropping blue diamonds here, thinking that Karlissa would entertain Ronnie's dating show. Wouldn't that be some shit though? Watching Karlissa host a dating show for Ronnie at this point. Like, what are we doing, and what are we really talking about?
So did Ronnie say that it is like a dating show, or is it like a reality of his life type TV show?
I would say that is a good question, because we don't know what he's actually referring to when it comes to this show. For the love of Ronnie, does that sound as if it's a name from from a potential dating show, right? Who knows, right? Because in a way it does, right? But we don't know. I don't think he's come out and said that he wants to particularly do a dating show, unless somebody has something else. I don't see anything that actually says that in actual writing. Michelle Bradshaw here says Ronnie would never be able to talk to the maintenance department at Zeus. Please make it make sense. This has gone too far. This is really delusional. How much energy does a non-factor is getting? Listen, Ronnie gonna get the energy that Ronnie gives. Like y'all see, there's people watching, there's people talking about it, and if we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna talk about it. It's just what it is. But at the same time, hopefully people stumble upon this video, they can see how some of his directions and some of his thought processes might be somewhat leaning towards the delusional that you're speaking about. Fabulous here does say Karlissa will not entertain him anymore. I believe she got tapped on the shoulder for doing so, and that's interesting, because a part of me feels like based on what Karlissa, and a part of me feels like based on what Karlissa said, that there is a possibility that you know she's ignoring him and not trying to entertain that. But then she jumps on live with him, and then she entertains all of that stuff on the live. So you know what to expect, I guess. You know, not trying to be big brotherish, but I guess the unexpected, right?
I
Now
think
on, go ahead.
with that last live, the last live she did was the one that we got right with Ronnie and her when she was in the bed laying down and he was in the kitchen of that house. That was the last live they did together, right?
Yeah, that's the last one that I know of.
See, that was when he brought up because she asked him. She was like, "If look, what if my son was with Chrisean in the mall? What would you have done?" And he said, "Respectfully, I know that's your son, but if he would have said something, me and him would have handled it like two adults." Basically saying he would have fought her son, and I think
Yeah, and even before
with
he
that,
answered it, it was almost like he had his backup. Like, what you mean if he was there? What you mean if he was there? Like, that's kind of the way I was feeling.
yeah, I think Blue or Jonathan or maybe Wax, somebody said, "Hey, chill out with dude." Like I noticed she's not reposting his stuff. Like even though he tagged her, he's tagging her, and she used to actually repost his stuff. And I noticed she hasn't been reposting the stuff he's tagging her in either on his stories. So I'm hoping and thinking that someone did tap her on the shoulder. I'm hoping
Yeah, and
that's
guess
what
the
that
big
is.
question is whether or not she did speak out to or speak to him from yesterday's call out. Who knows, right? I haven't really been following her live when she went on. I think yesterday or anything to see if she addressed this particular call out. But it is interesting to see if she will or if she does, what that would look like.
I think, well, I didn't even know she went live yesterday. I know she said she was sick. That's why she wasn't going live. But I don't know if anybody in the comments that saw her live, did it get brought up at all? Did she bring it up or did anybody in the comments bring it up? Because if
Katie
they
goes,
did,
Tasha K
she
tapped on
didn't
her
even
shoulder.
address it. Right. What did Blueface say? You can get tapped on the shoulder. He probably had to tap his mama on the shoulder. But if she didn't bring it up and if it wasn't in the comments, it's probably a good chance she's not going to entertain it. Because we know Karlissa, she just to chase the clout, she would mention it. But I don't know. I know that she just hasn't been talking about Ronnie since that last interview where he basically threatened her son. And she should be smart because if something pop off when he do get out, do you really want your son to get involved? Like you keep talking about you love your son, you're blaming Chrisean, but then you're entertaining a dude that literally is saying he would fight your son. Jonathan will not be able to have any contact with police, just like Chrisean when he gets out.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The inconsistency on what Wax says is crazy. Sorry, you're cutting out there a bit, but I was saying the inconsistency of what her and Wax says, it's crazy, like what they say at certain times. You know what I'm saying? Sandiva Hot Topic says, "What's the show idea?" I missed it, and that's what you know. We're kind of trying to wonder at the same time. He did make a post here saying, "For the love of Ronnie," featuring Karlissa. So we don't know, you know, if that kind of stems on, you know, what the show may be about, right? Like some were saying, it could potentially be like a dating show, or like Mama Kajola said, or is it going to be like a life of Ronnie type of thing? You know what I mean? But with the idea for the love of Ronnie, it kind of just. But either way, you know, I'm pretty sure people, you know, have their opinion. Now, in the chat, if you guys think that this will be terrible and a flop, drop blue diamonds. I saw some people saying a Tubi show, most likely. But I don't even know what the qualifications are to get on that. But drop blue diamonds if you
Nothing.
think Ronnie should probably just focus on something else.
I mean, you could get on a Tubi with your iPhone or Android and film a whole film, and you'll make it to Tubi, basically.
You're joking.
But no, I'm so serious. I'll send you some memes, Blue Rock, to keep you up to speed. But I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
do
what
a
if
whole
he's trolling.
Tubi Blue Rock TV movie. Watch. Don't play with me.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. But I don't know. What if he's trolling? What if he's poking the bear with this? You know, I mean, it still is Jonathan's mom. And he keeps tagging his mom. And then the audacity, wait, you want to do a show with my mama? What if he's being a smart ass? and there isn't even a show. Like, I don't know. I feel like it could be so many things with him. I mean, he got the attention. He can run with it, and that's exactly what he's doing. He can say anything at this point.
Right. And now Janine says off topic a little bit, but for the Delulu of Ronnie and Bonnie would be lit. And I'm like, don't even be giving them ideas because Bonnie's already done saying she's over Blue and listen, and Ronnie's already looking to be a poppy and Bonnie had, so y'all just be careful over here because y'all just be giving the wrong ideas because these people will come to no end sometimes, as you can see. But Cam saying like it will be on Seahawks, and it's like who knows, but that's what we're trying to wonder, right?
I think didn't Karlissa want Ronnie? I think she was going back and forth with that, like way before she reached out to Tasha K. And I guess that's when she said she got nervous and wanted Tasha K to do it instead of yeah, I think she did say she was going to bring him on the show or do an interview while filming her series. But something happened, and that's when she got Tasha K involved. Talking about she was scared, which look, she talking about she's getting her attorneys involved for that, and she hasn't done nothing. All these people just be lying. They be lying because they don't want their truths to come out. That's all that is.
Right. Sonia here says it would be a flop. Nemo needs to cut grass or something working away from people. Others are saying it would be a flop. The Blue Diamonds people were dropping it there as well. Katie says if Funny Marsh is doing her thing without using Chrisean, Janet can't even get a come up while Nemo is using Chrisean name for a come up. Shake my head. Listen.
And that's exactly what Marsh said too. Like somebody said, I don't know if it was Zio said or I don't know. I can't remember that they said Marsh and her are friends. I'm gonna go by what Marsh said. I'm not gonna listen to anybody else. She addressed it. She said Chrisean is still her godson. And they went their separate ways for past, but she still considers some family. That's still my sister. So it's like I don't need to hear anybody else's version of what their perception is. I'm gonna go from the horse's mouth.
This is true. Sandiva Hot Topic says Karlissa can't wait. She's been clout chasing off Chrisean her entire career. Right. And Lacole also says here narcissists are not capable of real love, and that's the true question, right? Some question whether there will be change or they won't be change, right? It is what it is, right? But that's it. I think that's pretty much what we wanted to discuss. We wanted to go over Wack 100's video there and a little bit of what he's saying, and I think that flip-flop support or mentality that might be present, as well as some of Ronnie's messages or messes and what he's doing, as well as this new talk about a show or whatnot. Like, it is what it is, y'all. I hope he stays focused in a different direction, be a little bit more positive and more focused on his career, less focused on clout chasing the baby or anything that crazy. Maybe keeping Chrisean's name completely out of it, because I am a believer that Ronnie does have talent, like I said, that he could have used without any of this chaoticness and any of this mess. So the crash out sometimes is sad to see, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. For those who pray, keep them in your prayers, because Lord, some of the circus people definitely need their prayers. Mama Kajola, I thank you a lot for jumping up as well and sharing your opinions. It's definitely good. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. For those in the chat, as I said, don't forget to hit subscribe if this is your first time here. Also go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. You know what I'm saying? Thanks again for coming out and checking out our midday show. Tea Time with Latrice was saying she was going to try to come out, but unfortunately, maybe she got a little wrapped up there with lunch. But nonetheless, we might do a late night show tonight because there is a bunch more things to talk about, a lot more tea to sip, I guess, right? And y'all know we need tea time up here at some point because y'all been waiting for us. So it's gonna get crazy at some point. I do appreciate the viewers that came up, every single one of you, and I do appreciate all the people in the chat and everyone who came out to show support. Do y'all think the show about Paternity was a Danny show? I'm not, I don't think the show is gonna be about paternity. That wouldn't go anywhere. I highly doubt so. But Queen Grandma Rocks, what's up? Thanks for dropping the blue diamonds. Odd, what's up? Thanks for coming by again. But again, hit that like button. If you're catching this on the replay, hit the comments and your thoughts below in the comments section, so that way we can check it out, because we do check that out after. And like I said earlier, hit subscribe, because we're all over the place. We're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and we're even on Threads. So if you're not following us over there, definitely check us out over there on those platforms as well, so that way you don't miss a thing. Again, thank you guys so much for all your support. And until next time, maybe tonight, I'll catch you guys later. All right.